Hello everybody and welcome along to this week's Woolcast. I'm your host Craig, and joining me as always I've got the usual trio of Gav, Grizz and Ian. But as a special guest this week we're joined by comedian, actor and most importantly Massive Red, Soran. Welcome to the show, Soran, and let me just apologise in advance for Ian and Grizz.
Thank you so much for having me and for the apology.
It will be needed. I promise it'll be needed.
I trust you. You seem like a trustworthy guy, and but I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I love that you threw an actor in there. I didn't know I was one, but I appreciate it.
Well,
we could, I don't know if anybody's listening, but to everybody, all the casting people listening in the UK, I am one of the biggest actors in Sweden, along with Alicia Vikander and Skarsgård, the entire clan. So, yeah.
Well, if we can get away with trying to call ourselves media, you can certainly get away with being an actor, so we're all good.
That's right.
Mate, you're more of an actor than Grizz is an ITK.
Right. I've understood that. That's okay, but we're just keeping up the charade.
Right, lads, before we kick off this week's opening question, I just wanted to mention a recent vote that was undertaken by the Spirit of Shankly group regarding the introduction of rail seating or safe standing. After approximately 18,000 votes, the result was 88% in favour and 12% against. Now, obviously, this is a subject that's very much in its infancy and one that needs to be discussed and examined in much more detail, but we just wanted to touch on it and let you guys know about the vote and the result. Right, folks, it's time for the opening question, and this week's one is an absolute belter, and I'm going straight to Ian for this one because he didn't let us down last week. Ian, what's the worst thing you've ever done to a friend?
I've got one friend in particular who is...
No, you've got one friend.
One friend.
Yeah, it's true. But he's like pretty much like the brunt of all our jokes, you know what I mean? It's borderline bullying, to be fair. But in our defence, he is a copper. And he also went to Iraq, do you know what I mean? So he can handle himself. He's just an idiot, basically. But it's one of two things, mate. There was a time when we had a house party. He's always the first person to fall asleep drunk, and he's a seriously rude and obnoxious drunk as well. But he's always the first to take the knock. And when he was asleep, we put boot polish all over his face. You know, like made him look like a minstrel.
See, I told you, Soran, we wouldn't let you down with the racism. We're straight in.
I made him look like a what? A minstrel. What is that?
Minstrel.
I was nothing to do with a period, like blood or stuff.
No, don't you know?
All right, just check it with the dialect and the accents, right?
The way Grizz immediately thought of chocolate, though.
All right, yeah, I got it.
Yeah, so we blacked them up basically, and then just we all got drunk and left him, and then he come in the room, kicking off about 20 minutes later, and we all thought he'd seen his face, but he hadn't. He was just being a drunken idiot, and we all had to go round the garage, and this lad walked round the garage looking like Al Johnson, basically, and everyone was just howling at him and pointing. And it was one of the funny... I nearly wet myself because he couldn't understand. He was getting dead aggressive that everyone was like... He's like, why is everyone pointing at me? What the And he didn't at no point think to check his face because he's that bright. Do you know what I mean? As it was either that one or the same lad. We all went to Kavos about 15 years ago in Greece on a lad's holiday, and we were on a catamaran, and he was doing our heading. And we were in the middle of like the Mediterranean Sea, like a good 40 miles from the coast, so it seemed anyway. And he was doing our head, and so we just kicked him overboard.
That's attempted murder, I think.
just kicked him overboard and like just howled at him. Do you know what I mean? He was kicking off, and like even the captain was laughing because we had to turn the boat back around to get him, obviously, because you can't. You know what I mean? It would have been murder.
Right.
But it got that bad for him. He's emigrated to Australia, so we leave him alone. But I've still got his Facebook. I still give him abuse.
He's in witness
I don't understand why you don't have any friends. Right, exactly. Well, how come you don't have any friends? You seem to.
I don't know, mate. They can't handle it. But in my defense,
none of them are good swimmers, right?
Mate, he's fat. He floats. But
all right.
In my defense, he is a police officer. Do you know what I mean? So think of that what you will.
Yeah, right. I don't think that'll hold up in court. You killed him. Yeah, but he's an officer. All right, that doesn't help. Right.
John Doyle, his name is. He'll listen to this and he'll hate me for bringing it all up.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's
Hello,
going to
John.
appreciate it. Yeah, hello, John, indeed.
Thank
Soran.
you for your services.
Yeah.
Commiserations, John.
Soran, we'll come to you next, mate.
All right. Well, this is a difficult one. I'm not usually the one who pushes friends overboard from boats and stuff, but I think it was completely unintended. I moved to the States one year in high school. When I came back, new class, and this one I was friends with one girl who was really sweet to me. And we became friends. And me and her and another guy had to stay for a group project in school, and it was just the three of us in a classroom. And I thought I was going to be funny, and I walked up and I was going to poke her in the sides to, like, startle her or whatever. And she just she farted. There was just gas in there, and she had, I just caught her completely off guard. And after that, but that wasn't like the worst part, because that was all right. It was a mistake. It was how I handled it, because after that there was just complete silence. She just looked up at me, completely embarrassed, and I just stared at her, and I said nothing. I was just dead silent for like a good 11 seconds at least. And like, appreciate how long 11 seconds of silence is.
Grizz hasn't seen 11 seconds of silence in his life.
Exactly. 1, 2, 3. That's 3 seconds. 11 fucking seconds of complete silence, and then I turned around and I walked out, and I didn't speak to her for a year. And it was so. This was, and then the next time when like a year later, our senior year, we became we're friends again. Everything we were just, everybody's in denial, pretending that didn't happen, and hardly anybody knew. And then I said to some other friends in class, we were eating lunch, and I said, you know that trick, like if you tell somebody if your palm is bigger than your face, then you have a bigger chance of getting cancer or whatever. And then they'll say what, and they put their palm against their face, and you smash their hand against their face, right? And they said, like, okay, you do it. No, I said, no, you do it. It's your friend. And when she gave her, you do it. You say you're better at lying. So I told her that, and her friend smacked her in the face way too hard on her nose, and she just looked at me like, what the fuck? Why are you doing this to me? And she started crying and walked off. And that's probably the meanest I've been to somebody. But it wasn't on purpose. But it was probably worse. The consequences were. She's not in Australia. I don't know where she is.
Well, I'd rather be friends with me than you, mate, by the sound of that. Yeah. You sound horrific.
I agree with you, man. I agree. Yeah, at least you take responsibility and you stand for it. I'm with you. It's a terrible way of dealing with shit.
I don't want to be friends for other reasons, if that's okay.
So,
absolutely.
Ian's gone around fucking people off boats, and Soren's gone around trying to break women's noses. So
I didn't hit her. Her friend did. I just told her to put her hand up. That's the trick. And then
so you were basically the Charles Manson of the group, then, wasn't you? Getting other people to
Thank you. Finally, a compliment. Thank you. Yes, exactly. That's who I am. The Charles Manson of the group. Yes, you're right. That's a good way of describing it.
Grizz, I'll come to you next, mate. What's your one?
This will be illegal.
No, do you know what? Basically, right. Normally, I don't really play pranks on people.
You probably ate someone.
Okay. No, honestly,
besides the whole IT case.
Yeah, I was just going to say the worst thing I could have done to someone is told them up in like a fake rumor. But no, the thing. See, I was thinking, I nearly got done really badly. Can I switch it to me? Kind of what someone nearly. No, like someone what
Jesus, man.
someone nearly played a very nasty prank on me. Very nasty prank. So basically, back in my teenage years, I was quite a bit of a cricket player. Now I know you Irish folk
back in the 60s.
Like cricket. Now I know you Irish don't like your cricket, right?
We fucking rule cricket now, Grizz.
Yeah, you've got status now, innit? You've been recognised now, so yeah. So I was quite a bit of a cricket player. This is right. So it's a hot summer's day, and I think I was on about 100 not out, right? And it's a baking. I'm not. Fuck, what are you laughing at? Anyway,
100 not out. Fuck off.
So listen. It's a really hot day. It's baking hot, right? And drinks break. I needed drinks. No, seriously, I was on about 70. All right, realistically. not gonna lie. I was about 17.
Keep going.
He'll be out for a duck before
Yeah.
this is finished.
I have no idea about anything about cricket. I just know you drop 30 points in like a heartbeat.
Yeah, he's haggling with
That's all I
himself.
know.
Okay, but look, cut a long. Basically, what happened?
So you're on 20.
So, I'm still on 70. So I'm 70 not out. So I signaled to my the teammates, like, can someone bloody get me a drink? Now, obviously, I don't know what's going on. What they've managed to do. Cut a long story short, what they've managed to do is get me a drink that looks like Lucozade.
Oh God.
No.
Right? And it's a hot summer's day, and they said, look, we've only got hot Lucozade here. It's like really hot. All the drinks have turned hot. And I was like, anything, just want to put it down me. I just want to get a liquid down me. You know, I'll do it. Just send me a drink out. Yeah, exactly.
Is that
as
the
soon as
R.
I
Kelly
got-
drink?
Yeah, so as soon as I was, luckily, one of the guys was a really, really decent fella. And he said, Grizz, don't drink that. So he saved me just in the nick of time. They were all on the floor rolling over with laughter. They thought I'd actually, you know, so I just chased
But
them.
you didn't think of it before he told you. Like everybody's rolling, laughing.
No,
like,
no.
They really want to see me.
No, I was
quench
looking.
my thirst.
Listen, you got to remember the high intensity that I was playing at. I was a sports
70,
I was
right?
I was sweating. I was tired. I just wanted to drink, man. I couldn't. You know,
Right.
I can't think of pranks at that time. But anyway, that's the worst play someone's done on me. It nearly worked.
So if anybody's
Anyway.
Mate, it says a lot about your standing in the team that 10 of your teammates pissed in a bottle when you needed hydrating. Do you know what I mean?
Bastards.
Gave
And
it
you're
to you.
this, and I guess you're the star, right?
No. Not
70.
only star.
Is that
Not
all?
only star. Not only star. I was the captain.
You're very unlucky,
So bear
Grizz,
that in
because you
mind as well.
just missed out on a football career and you just missed out on a cricket career. But it's
Fine
You need-
margins. Fine margins.
Nearly, man.
Next week you'll be in the NBA.
Fine
Yeah.
margins.
Would you say that you had like a good control of the dressing room as a captain?
After that, I did. Definitely. After
Right,
that, I did. But
He was
listen,
pipped. He was pipped for the American presidency as well last year, wasn't he?
Yeah.
all right. So the worst thing I've done to someone is like very basic. I think we've all done like something
Stab a
similar.
guy
So
in the neck.
16. I think we went to Chessington and we stayed the night over. It was like a school college trip, and I just chose. And I thought, you know, this guy's definitely going to get laid tonight. He's, you know, we're gonna fix him out. So I managed to choose one of the geekiest, like the most. We knew he's a virgin, and like sort of, he's like, bless him, the most simplest guy you can ever find. Right? I managed to slip a Viagra in his drink. Right? The fella. All right. The honest to God, the fella was crying of headaches, covering his shirt, putting his shirt over his trousers. 2 hours later, he was in pain and distress, and he didn't know what hit him because, you know, obviously he doesn't know what's going on. Bless him. 30 years later, he's still single. But yeah,
Got to say,
That's
still had the
the-
hard on 30 years later. Fucking hell.
yeah. No, I don't know if he's got a hard on or not, but bless him. Apparently, he's still.
They're
not,
just like 36 hours they last.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I don't know. I've never tried.
Knowledge.
I don't know how they last
I
or what.
have.
No.
Oh no,
Okay.
I have. They're great. They're amazing.
Oh.
You guys should.
Okay,
Silence
but
or
the
Viagra.
guy did complain of headaches, and he was like, "Guys, I'm so sorry. I'm not myself today." And like, so he was like crying of headaches, but he kept covering his nether
Cock.
regions. Yeah, but yeah, that's about it, really.
Did you go about trying to get him laid in any way, shape, or form, or were you just slipping
No,
Viagra into his
no,
drink for the fun of it?
No, just on the Viagra in his drink, and sod paying for a hooker. Fucking hell. We were 16, man. I was like doing paper rounds at that age and shit. I couldn't afford a £50 hooker.
You
Is that how much they are?
Surely,
Ian?
though, you were just about to sign a pro contract at 16. You must have had a few bob in the bank.
Now my ITK career didn't kick off then.
Right. Gav, you've done some horrible, horrible things to friends over the years from what I've heard. So, go on, give me your worst.
Don't know what you heard. Killed me brother's goldfish. That's probably the worst thing I've ever done.
You
That
don't
is,
know
I
what?
I'm
love
really-
it.
I'm
That's
a really
amazing.
nice guy.
You've done worse
Uh,
than
Why
that to
did
me.
you? Why? No, that's amazing.
Yeah, but
Why
you
did you
deserve
kill
it.
somebody's friend? Well, you killed somebody's friend. Why'd you do it? How did you do it? I love this.
I'll tell you what happened. Yeah, I've probably done most to you, but you deserve it. And when you deserve it, it's not actually that bad. So, yeah, I was. I've only one brother. He's 2 years younger than me. I'd say we were about 10 and 8 at the time. Got into an argument in the house. Whatever went on, he literally ran up the stairs into the bedroom, locked the bedroom so I couldn't get in near any of his stuff. Came downstairs, looking around for some of his stuff to break or fucking hide or whatever else. And the only thing I seen was his goldfish. So I lashed about a half a litre of washing up liquid in with the lads, and that was it.
I'm so glad you didn't find his girlfriend.
No. At 8, he probably had her hidden under the bed. I don't know, but no, that's the worst thing I've done. I'm not a mean person, to be perfectly honest with you.
You're not a very popular person by the sound of it. If the story about what you've done to a friend, it was your brother.
How did he take it?
And a fish called Wanda.
I don't know. I think he just thought, natural. Well, he thought it was a natural death, but the amount of fucking spuds that were in the fish tank was a bit of a giveaway. A bottle,
the suicide note.
It was a half bottle of Fairy, and we all know from the ads how long Fairy can last. And if you put a lot of it into stuff, it looked like a fucking foam party in the kitchen. But nah, that's it. I'm not a mean person, to be fairly honest with you.
You've let me down, Gav. I know you're holding out with me, but I'm gonna let you away with that.
Because no, genuinely, you sent me this question yesterday, and I thought about it. The only other one I can think of was we went on a school trip to a place in France, in the middle of France. We literally went on a bus from Dublin to France, over on the ferry through England onto that Euro tunnel and through Paris. And we got down, and there was a guy that was with us, and he could never stop mounting out of him. So what we done was we were staying in this place. It was all like 4 or 5 lads to a room, and he kept going, and he went into this room, and it was bunk beds, and he insisted on staying in the room literally on his own. He wanted the room to himself, so a couple of us snuck into the room and managed to, the slats on the bed on the bottom of the bunk.
Yeah.
We managed just to give them a little cut with a saw we found out the back of this place. So we watched them go into the room. We all kind of gathered around the door. When he went up onto the bunk bed, he lay down and came straight through the bunks right to the floor, and ended up costing about 50 quid. But other than that, no. I'm a nice guy.
Other than almost paralysing somebody and fucking killing a fish or a nice fella.
Do you know something? It was at the time. It was we weren't in the euros. It was francs and Irish pounds at the time, and we told him it was 50 quid. But he found out in the end that I think it worked out at about 24 francs to fix the bed, and I think it was 8 francs to the pound at the time, so it was about £3. But he was crying and ringing home, telling them that all his money was gone because he was done for breaking beds. It was 3 quid, but fucking hell.
But the game was shit as well, right? Afterward, you watched the game as well, right? It was last summer. After that, in France, no?
Oh, it wasn't last summer. He was in school, I think. He said.
Oh, all right. I thought it was. All right.
It's 20 years ago. Nearly 20 years ago. Yeah.
all right.
No.
Sorry, I got it mixed up.
Really, really nice guy. Yeah.
So mine's kind of similar to Ian's. I went on a lads' holiday after finishing school. There was 4 of us in this apartment in Crete. And when you're on holidays and you're in Spain or in continental Europe and you have to buy bottled water because you can't drink it from the taps. So we went on a 2-week holiday, and for the entire 2 weeks there was one miserable bastard in our group that just refused point blank to buy anything for the flat or the apartment. Nothing. Wouldn't buy bottled water. But the last couple of days he got sunstroke and he collapsed and he had to take medicine every morning. So the second to last night we'd had enough of this lad being a tight ass. So one of the lads went into the bathroom and did a shite. So we went to the fridge and took out a bottle of water, and we knew this lad would be the first one up in the morning to take his antibiotics or his medicine. So we emptied the water down the sink and filled it up with the toilet bowl water and left it in the fridge. And sure enough, right on cue, the next morning he got up and he drank it all down, and still to this day he doesn't know what he's drank.
Oh, you cruel bastards! Tell him why haven't you told him to this very day?
Why would I?
Did he score like a 70 on the cricket team?
No, this lad is Irish through and through. He wouldn't dare pick up a cricket bat.
But so did he not get sick?
No, he drank it down.
He's Irish, Soran.
Good balls. Yeah. That's right.
You missed that bit.
No. All right, everything is just killed by the
That's it. He drank
potatoes and alcohol. Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty much it, to be fair.
Yeah, I've heard about the stereotypes. Yeah.
They're all true. We'd like to deny them, but look at Gav. He's just a walking stereotype.
Yep.
Right, lads, we'll
I
bring
don't
it
need
on to
to date,
football. We'll bring it on to football. And what I wanted to open with this week was Sturridge versus Firmino. Now, obviously, Klopp can set up in different ways throughout the season, and we're not going to have a fixed centre forward. But I just want to know from you guys who you'd like to see play up the top in the front three, Sturridge or Firmino. Gav, I'll come to you first on this one.
Firmino. In the system we play, if it's 4-3-3, it's definitely Firmino. When you look at it, the assets that he has to his game, really good with his back to goal, really good in tight situations. So is Sturridge, I suppose, but I just think Firmino just services our system better. The two of them would be even better than picking one. Sturridge has looked really good in pre-season. He's looked really fit. He's looked quite mobile. He's never going to be as quick as people expect from 2 or 3 years ago. It's just not possible. But look, if you can get both of them fit and firing and, deputising for each other game on game or playing together some games, and we can get 15 to 20 goals out of both of them, it's a positive for Liverpool. But in a 4-3-3, I think Firmino does suit it better. And that's the way I think Klopp is going to start. You've seen Firmino being moved out of position a couple of times in pre-season. I just think that's to see what the other players can do. But I think you might actually see, the likes of a Salah or a Mane actually going up front, and you may see Firmino pull out wide. But look, if you're giving me a straight choice for the first day of the season on which one to start in that system, Firmino is my pick.
Yeah, we've had conversations off air, and you have said to me numerous times that you think Daniel Sturridge works best in a two up front.
Yeah, it's. You see, I think Daniel Sturridge could work well in a one up front if he was Daniel Sturridge 3 years ago. Like if you watched him when he played with Sterling and Suarez, you'd often find Suarez on the right wing or Sterling on the left or vice versa. You could see Sturridge up top running away from defenders, no problem. You could see him dropping left or right. They were so fluid, the three of them. I just don't think. Now, Firmino doesn't run beyond people either, but I think he just does that link-up play better than Sturridge. I think Sturridge can take a bit too much out of the ball sometimes. But having said that, if you put him in the box and a ball drops, he's well able to, one-touch finish or drop a shoulder and finish. He's well able to do it. We can choose all day between them, but as far as I'm concerned, if we can get to the 12th of August with both of them fit and firing, and one's playing and one's ready to come on at any stage, I think we're in good shape.
Yeah, no, I agree with you 100%. It'd be great to have them both fit and firing for the start of the season. Grizz, what's your take on this one, buddy? Sturridge or Firmino for you?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Gav there. Sorry, I nearly forgot your name, Gav. It's not like me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. Firmino, Bobby all day long for me. Bobby's Klopp's go-to man, isn't he? Maybe we underestimated how much he rates Firmino last season, maybe at the start, but I think it's fairly obvious, and that Bobby's is established number 9 now. We can't even say a false 9. He loves Bobby up there, and to be honest with you, I personally, or not just personally, I think the whole LFC fan base is and should be ecstatic and excited about this coming season for the attack that we've assembled now, because with Salah and Mane on either side of Firmino, and with Phil dropping in centrally, that's quite a tasty combination of attackers there. Yeah. Daniel Sturridge, I hold my hands up. I really thought he was going to leave. Right, I honestly thought he wouldn't be at this here at the start of the season, but he's obviously worked absolutely tirelessly throughout the summer, and he's proved to Jurgen Klopp that he's fully fit and ready to go. And look, at the end of the day, he's a Liverpool player, and his record is second to none. We know he's a goal scorer supreme. So, as Gav says, if both of them are fit and firing and ready at the start of the season, we've got options. I agree, Sturridge again. I agree with Gav and you that Sturridge works far better in a 2. So maybe the combination of them would be quite lethal. But if you gave me the choice, I've got a lot of time for Bobby. Bobby's one of my favourite players, man.
I think what you said there makes a lot of sense. Firmino is certainly one that Klopp looks to on the pitch a lot, along with probably Adam Lallana being another one that he looks for them to set the tempo and the press in the team, and they never really let him down. So I can completely understand where you're coming from there, buddy. Soran, I'll come to you next, my friend. Where do you stand on this one?
I disagree. You'll have a new pick here. I go with Sturridge every day of the week. I think he is, given that he's fit, that was a part of the question. I think he's still the most underrated attacker, number 9 in the Premier League. I think one of the most underrated, at least. He's shown, like, for a season what he could do when he's fit, and I think it's more than just being fully fit. It's the confidence that comes with it, and I think that Klopp, more than anybody almost in the world, can give that to a player. And I think if we see that, I think he'll be absolutely amazing. And also, I think that Bobby could play better out on a wing than Sturridge could, and he's absolutely lethal. And I think that Sturridge would be against better teams, or equal teams, like against the big teams, big games. We need Bobby because he plays better defensively as well, with attacking and then the pressing. And that's obviously important for our game. But when we need to score goals against teams that park the bus, like Bournemouth or United or whatever, then
Bournemouth and United.
That's what they do. I can't. It's not my fault. I'm not. That's Mourinho's fault. But then I think Sturridge is even there. He'll be more a better option, and also a better option on the legs, better with his head as well. If we went to play in some crosses, we got a better left foot now, perhaps in left wing and on left back. And I think that. And I'll go with Sturridge, and I realize this will blow up in my face. I'm jinxing the shit out of this, but I think that Sturridge is for me. I wouldn't trade him. I wouldn't trade him for Harry Kane. I wouldn't trade him for Lukaku, and I know that everybody thinks that's completely special ed's class, but I do. I love Sturridge. I think, and I hope so. If he's fit, I think he'd do wonders. So I'll go with him.
You know, I can't disagree with you to an extent, because if there's one player I want the ball to fall to in the box with 2 minutes to go, or go through one-on-one, it's Daniel Sturridge, because you know what's coming. You know the ball's ended up in the back of the net.
Even outside the box, he'll go that with his left foot, and he'll just quickly to the left of the player and just smash it in, or he'll find the place between the defender's legs and the goalkeeper won't even see the ball until it's too late. I don't know. I just I realize it's probably more realistic that I rate him too high than that the rest of the world rate him too low. But I do rate him really high, and I'm very happy that he's not leaving if nothing unexpected happens, and if he stays fit. I don't think I do believe like Grizz says, it's obvious that Bob is Klopp's number 1, but for me it would have been Sturridge. It would always be Sturridge if he's fit.
Thank you very much, Ian. Lastly to you, Muddy, what do you think on this one, Sturridge or Firmino?
I think if they both played 35 games a season, I know it's highly unlikely with Sturridge, but if they both played 35 games a season, Sturridge would score more goals, 100%. But I also think Liverpool would score less goals if Sturridge started. I think we're a better team when Firmino starts. He sets the tone, like someone just said before. A bit like Lallana, he's incredible at defending from the front. Now I know you don't get all the glitz and glamour when you're a striker. If you're doing all the donkey work, you see him lose the ball quite a bit. But how often do you see him win it back straight away? And then he's just tremendous. He's tremendous at linking the play. Talent-wise, I think Sturridge is far more intelligent than him. A far better player than him. But I just don't see it with Sturridge. Even now, even in pre-season, he's not as quick as he used to be. I've watched him live, Sturridge, now about 60 times, probably. And he just infuriates me when he's on the pitch. He doesn't work hard enough. He only comes alive when the ball's around him. But I'm still a big fan. Like Grizz just said then, if he gets the ball within 25 yards of the goal, he's magic, or he can be magic. Do you know what I mean? But I think Sturridge is definitely second choice for Klopp. He'd be second choice for me as well. I think if we go 3 at the back, he might play 2 up front quite a bit. So you'll see. He'll still get a lot of game time, Sturridge, if he's fit, because there's a lot of competitions that were in this season, especially the way Firmino works. Towards the end of last year, he was running on empty, wasn't he? He was absolutely gassed. So I think it can only benefit us that Sturridge is fit. But for me, Firmino starts. In every big game we have next season, Firmino will start over Sturridge if it's one or the other, in my opinion.
You spoke about Firmino being amazing at defending from the front. It kind of reminds me of another player from years gone who was amazing at that, and Ian Rush.
Yeah, he's exactly what I was thinking of when I said it. I mean, obviously, Rush could finish as well. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, it sets the tone. If you've got one of your star players up front running around like an headless chicken, just constantly busting a gut to get the ball, then you can't not follow suit. How can you be a central midfielder and not work as hard as your centre forward when you haven't got the ball? Do you know what I mean? It sets the tone. It's brilliant to watch, and the fans love it. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, we prefer them to score more goals. But if you're in the crowd and you see a man run 45 yards back to the halfway line, win the ball and start off an attack, the crowd love that. It G's everybody up. I think after Coutinho, I think he's the first name on the team sheet for Klopp. I don't even think it's up for debate. Like.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. Klopp loves Firmino. I think we've all come to that conclusion. He just needs to sweat that last bit of Smirnoff out of a system, doesn't he, before the season starts? Because he still looks like he's half pissed at times out there these days.
Oh, he's had a good jolly up. There's no two ways about it. 2 weeks. Do you know what I mean? But the only issue I've got with him are his ridiculously offensive teeth. That's the only issue I've got with him.
You're just jealous. You know what I mean? It's not an issue. You're just jealous.
Mate, they're not human coloured teeth. Do you ever see Ross and Friends in that episode when he's got those teeth?
Yeah.
They're not human coloured. Do you know what I mean? No human should have a white on them of that colour. I
researched this actually before we came on, and the actual technical term for them are Rogers Plus. That's the name given to them, apparently. That's what you had to go in and ask for when he went in. It's part of his contract. You get wider every year, so the longer he stays, you're going to have to get glasses, I think.
Oh, they are horrific, honestly.
Yeah, well, at least he's got rid of the man bun, so, win-win.
Well, I'm sure he's one of those, he's a bit like Sterling in that he goes through 7 shit haircuts a season. So, who knows what he'll rock up with in August. Do you know what I mean? He's not normal. He won't just have a normal hairstyle. He's just got shit hair, hasn't he?
He's no Emre Can.
Well, exactly. He's like Emre Can's nemesis when it comes to hair.
He's his kryptonite.
Yeah.
Right, his hair graduated with ruinous hair.
We'll push on, lads. The next topic I wanted to cover, and it's getting harder and harder to make these agendas as we move towards the season because we've covered pretty much everything. But one question I wanted to ask you guys, and again, this is just personal opinion, is which player for you has improved the most under Klopp's guidance? I know this is a very open question, so I'll let you guys go whatever way you want with it. But Grizz, I'll come back to you first on this one because I love to catch you off guard.
Okay, you have, but
I sent you this agenda yesterday, don't you?
No, I read it. I read it just now. I was reading it as you was asking me. I was thinking, what's the next question? And then you came straight to me. But it's no problem.
You'll bullshit your way
through
it.
Grizz, and answer the fucking question.
Did you collect all your cricket scores?
I'm thinking as we talk. Listen, Soran. The secret is you've got to keep talking while you're thinking at the same time. All right. So basically, it comes down to, I think, in my personal opinion, it comes down to one of two.
Hang on, we're gonna have to start playing Grizz Bingo, and every time he says, "In my personal opinion," everyone has to fucking take a drink or something. Because every question is your opinion, buddy. We'll cut that one straight down the middle.
Okay. No, because sometimes I don't want to speak for like the Anfield Road Wolves. You know what I mean?
You will. Promise you, nobody will ever think you speak for the Anfield Road Wolves.
I don't want people coming back to you. I don't want people coming back to you and say the Anfield Road Wolves think this.
Oh no, God! Only a fool would do that, Grizz.
All right, I'm just
speaking on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Vietnamese people. What? What did the Queen say? No.
No, in my opinion, it's out of Mignolet or Lallana. It comes down to. I mean, overall, I'd say it's Lallana throughout the season. But the difference now, I don't know if that's because of Klopp's man management skills or the goalkeeping coach or whatever. But under Klopp's reign, I think Mignolet just looks a totally different keeper, lads.
He's
He's
still
just
a
totally
prick.
to me. Oh yeah, but you've got this bias against him, haven't you? You're not going to change it, but you've got to admit he looks a total different keeper. The confidence around him, he was a bag of nerves. We were all.
He's still a bag of shite, though. To be fair, like I'm fed up with this.
He's not
nonsense
He's
about Mignolet.
he's really not. He's really not. He looks a total different keeper. And Lallana, again, Lallana was before Klopp took over. Lallana was sort of pissing off everyone, wasn't he? Just with his stepovers, Cruyff stepovers for no reason. You can imagine even at home, he was just doing stepovers in his living room, or his wife sending him to to go and get some milk and doing stepovers all the way. He's just he was just he would waste attacks, be ponderous on the ball. But then as soon as Klopp took over, but under Klopp, he's become more effective, efficient in his movement, in his passing. We all know about his energy levels, right? That's never been in doubt. But he's actually using the ball very intelligently. And, some people never accept Lallana and Mignolet like yourself. But to me, they've been easily the two most improved players. Lallana and Mignolet. If you want me to choose one, I'd go for Adam Lallana.
I can't argue with you over Lallana at all, Grizz. I agree with everything you've said about Lallana. And even to the extent that when he first came to the club, he was gassing after 60, 65 minutes. But these days, he's able to make the full 90, and he's a lot more economical with the ball. He's not turning into players and turning into trouble like he used to. So I agree 100%. Mignolet, look, people know, if they know me at this point, they know I'm never, ever going to be sold on Mignolet. I just think he's one game away from another fuck up, and sadly for me that's not going to change. And I've given him his credit where I can and said that he had a decent season last season, but he's just never going to convince me. But I'll happily accept your Lallana answer, because I agree 100%. He's made a massive improvement since Klopp's come to the club. Soran, I'll come to you next. So who for you has been the most improved under Klopp?
I think it's not too different from what Grizz just said, and I think with Mignolet, I agree with you as well. I think he's not too great of a goalkeeper, really, but so much of it is confidence, and that's what Klopp has instilled in him, and it's really unbelievable. I think his mental strength, how poorly he played, and how poorly rated he was, and he's got to feel that, he's got to know that, and you're that position as a goalkeeper, every mistake is everybody sees it, and it's usually a goal or close to it. And I think he's improved. Maybe he's improved more than anybody, even though he's still not that great. But his improvement has still been great. I could say Lallana easily, but I also like to say I think Emre Can. The last couple of months here he's always been a big talent, but the way he's been playing the last 6 months or so, I don't know, 5-6 months, including the pre-World Cup or whatever it was in Russia, has been I don't know, one of those three. It could be anyone really. I would say Lallana, but Grizz said Lallana, so just for the sake of it, I'll say Emre Can.
Yeah, I think we seen online this summer when there was talk of Emre Can possibly going to Juventus, the uproar from Liverpool fans, because he's won over everybody, I think, at this point. He's a fantastic footballer, and he seems to have it all in his locker, Soran.
And a beautiful man.
Oh, he's a handsome bastard. There's no doubt.
Right, exactly.
Nivea must have been tripping over themselves to renew the contracts.
Yeah, him and Karius. Yes, sign them.
Well,
sign them.
Karius has the best Instagram game at the club, hands down.
Yeah.
He just needs to learn the goalkeeping game next.
Right, since Balotelli left, because he has the best. He'll have it better than anybody. That's the reason I think we should have kept Balotelli and Kolo Touré. Just for it's fun. They deserve to be there. They're good people. and we should have good people at Liverpool. Maybe they shouldn't be on the pitch, but they should be in and around the club.
Absolutely loved Kolo Touré. Loved everything about the man. Just looking at him made you smile.
Absolutely.
Balotelli, I felt let down by, and not only because of on the pitch. He didn't have that mad bastard moment that he had at Manchester City. There was no letting off fireworks in the bathroom or anything.
Yeah, exactly. He was trying to keep his shit together. Raiola told him this is his last chance, and he said that openly. This is his last chance. Liverpool will take him. I'll take you there, and this is your last chance. You can't fuck up anymore. And he was 25 or whatever, and he was trying. Poor guy, he was trying the best, but I think that didn't serve him right. He should have been the crazy fucker that he is, and on and off the pitch. I think that would have been better for everybody. And but at least he has a good Instagram, and that's not for nothing.
You know who else is great on Instagram and social media? And I hate this little bastard with the fire of 1,000 suns, but I have to say Patrice Evra. No, Patrice Evra.
Oh.
Do you know what? I like his videos. Do you know that the ones he does? You know, I love this game ones. Have you seen them, anyone, guys?
Yeah, he's a funny bastard. I'll give him that.
He's a funny bastard. Yeah, listen, I've got nothing against that, man. I think he's just positive, and we know about his history, and we hate him for that. And yeah, no problem. You know,
don't take racial abuse.
No,
fuck you, Patrice.
Yeah, but he's a flea bag as well. Generally, he's a flea bag as well. Right?
Yeah, no, of course I hate him, but I mean,
but his game, his Snapchat game and his Instagram is hilarious, man. Those videos he does, they're motivational, because sometimes I wake up. Yes, sometimes I wake up, right, and Monday mornings, and I'm like feeling down and out. And
Monday afternoon, let's be honest.
Afternoon, no problem. Everyone's clock's different. Right, so my body clock's different. I wake up at like
it's morning somewhere, right?
It's morning somewhere. Do you know what I mean? So that's the way you got to look at it. And I click onto Patrice Evra's videos that he does. You know, he's just sitting in his car enjoying life. You know, I love this game. That's what he says, and I agree with him. I love this game. So
is this in your opinion? In your humble opinion?
This is just my opinion.
Right. It's not the podcast. Sorry.
No.
Is that why you're always in your car so much, Grizz, driving around doing videos, taking selfies?
No, I haven't done the videos yet, but I'm going to do. But watch out for these videos. I'm just telling you, let the sun come out, let the summer come out, and I'm going to put on my shades as well.
Grizz will be gone. I love this ITK game. I love
this ITK game. Let's not talk about that today.
No, we don't mention the war. Don't mention the war.
Yeah.
Gav, I'm going to come to you, buddy. Have I already been to you? Where are we on this one? No, I haven't been to you, so I'm going to come to you again.
I'm sitting here patiently.
Very good. Very well behaved, Gav. Well done.
I know. Yeah, we have guests. What was I going to say? Yeah, the most improved player on the Jurgen Klopp is Adam Lallana. There's no doubt about it. Adam Lallana signed for Liverpool in the summer of 2014, and the Adam Lallana I knew at Southampton was a player that could play in midfield. He could play quite deep, centrally in midfield. He could play off a front man. He got a decent return of goals. Somewhere he nearly approached double figures, I think, for the two previous seasons at Southampton. Really good technically, good assists. And when he got to Liverpool, he was a shadow of that. Like someone touched on earlier, 65 minutes, he was out on his feet. Since Klopp has come in, you've seen him in a various positions, mostly sometimes wide, but that kind of quickly disappeared. And a lot of the time then in a tree, you know, either side of the defensive midfield or whatever way we want to call that player, but the six, as some people call it. And I always remember the first game under Klopp was Tottenham away at White Hart Lane. It was a 0-0 draw, if I remember right. And Adam Lallana played, I think he nearly played most of the game. He did come off, but I remember him coming off quite late in the game, and he looked absolutely shattered. But he lasted that long, and he ran more than I've ever seen Adam Lallana run. And that includes the 65 minutes you are usually getting out of him. Now you're looking at a player that provides goals, scores. He could probably score a few more, let's be honest about it. But very rarely loses the ball, very intelligent in and out of possession. He's being credited with being the trigger for the press in Liverpool's game. And all round he's improved his game. So he's definitely the most improved in my opinion. I think he's going to go on again this season. You know, you see players linked to Liverpool and you're thinking, oh, will Lallana get in the team? I think Lallana is nailed on to playing that team. Simply because of, like I said, the way he triggers the press. He keeps the ball well. He finds pocket of space. He moves in a way that creates space for other players as well. And I think he's nailed on. So, yeah, without a shadow of a doubt, head and shoulders above everyone else, it's Adam Lallana.
Yes, seems to be Adam Lallana for everybody here, Ian. Have you anything different to say?
Not really. Yeah, he has. He's just been the best. I'll give honourable mentions to maybe Dejan Lovren. Bit of a left field suggestion.
I was just thinking that.
If your next words are fucking Alberto Moreno, I'm cutting you off.
No. But don't get me wrong, I still think Lovren needs to go or be replaced or upgrade or whatever. But remember just how bad he was under like Rodgers and stuff. Do you know what I mean? He was abysmal. So I'd say special mention for him. Like Grizz said, Mignolet last season was outstanding. So you got to give a mention to John Achterberg, you know, that goalkeeper coach that everyone slags off, but I've got no idea how good he is at his job, one way or another.
He must be all right, though, to be fair. He survived, 3 or 4 managers at this point?
Mate, he's the highest qualified goalkeeper coach in the Premier League. He's got a qualification in the Premier League that no other goalkeeper's got. I'm not sure what it is. I think it's, you know what I mean? But, so he's clearly good at his job. He's got to be. But anyway, getting back to footballers. And just, I think Coutinho is now next level since Klopp come in as well. But I'm not sure if Coutinho would have done that anyway. I'm not sure how much of Klopp that is. Do you know what I mean? But I think Coutinho's very close to being world class now. Like every game.
Keeping on Coutinho there, what do you make of him in this new position?
Mate, I've wanted anyone who's spoke to me on Twitter for the last couple of years. I've wanted him to play as an 8 for the last 2 years. He's got far too much ability to be stuck out on the left. And to be honest with you, I was quite surprised at how good he done out on the left. Because he's not the quickest. He's more nippy, isn't he? And he's like sharp off the start. And he's quick of thought and quicker movements. But he's not the quickest. So he done really well out on the left. But I think centrally, he can go both ways. He can use both feet. He can pass. That pass for Salah the other day.
Oh, I was just going to bring that up.
Mate, it was like something off FIFA. He doesn't even break stride, and it's like a 60-yard pass floated with curl on it.
Doesn't look realistic. It looks like an American football quarterback throwing a perfect pass.
It's scandalous, and he doesn't even. It's of no consequence to him to do it. You know what I mean? In mid-run, he doesn't even slow down. It's tremendous, and I think he'll get Player of the Year this year in the Prem, not just for us, but
I thought you were going to say I'm not sure how. Liga.
Yeah, don't be doing that. But I'm not sure. How much of it is down to Klopp and how much of it is down to natural progression. But if I've got to go just for players in terms of pure influence by Klopp, it's got to be Lallana. He didn't even, he plays central midfield now. You know what I mean? No one knew where to play him when we got him.
Yeah,
we had like 3 number 10s, didn't we? And then Klopp. Go ahead.
Sorry, no, go on, Ian. I was going to say, can you know, you've got me thinking now.
Oh no, we're fucked.
It took a while.
But listen, we all said Lallana, and yeah, okay, no problem. We kind of all agree. But if we think about it, right? If we're looking at just down to Klopp, then wouldn't Hendo be a good shout?
Oh, it's a tough one with injuries. It's a tough one with injuries, but
it's only it's injuries.
I think Henderson is a good shout in that position he's playing now.
Yeah, in that position, that's what I mean.
Because if you look at Henderson when he was before Klopp came in, Henderson was more somebody that would play right or left of a defensive midfielder, or indeed right or left in a diamond. But he seems to have settled in this position now as I hate the fucking phrase, but as a 6. Because you're not allowed to say defensive midfielder because they don't exist apparently. But the thing is, he has improved a lot there, and the thing about him, and what probably stands him out from Sean, is his ability to recycle the ball, his ability to get Liverpool on the front foot, and his ability to nearly dictate a tempo of a game when it's needed. He has improved immensely there. I will give Henderson that.
Yeah, because you could say that's a direct result of Klopp's coaching, or Klopp's thinking, or Klopp's vision. Do you know what I mean? I mean, the other guys, apart from Phil, as Ian says, Phil, I think I agree with Ian about, I think it was a natural progression. He's matured as a player, hasn't he? And Lallana, he's still playing in the. Well, Lallana's changed a slight role as well, actually. But it's definitely Hendo, because I don't think any of us expected Klopp to just come in and put Hendo as the deepest lying playmaker, or whatever role you want to call it, the number 6. So I think that's not a bad shout for myself.
Well, since when does someone get the chance, Craig, to answer the question twice?
I know, and then give themselves credit at the end of it.
Yeah, he's just give himself the points.
It's not a bad shout.
And then he's named 6 players.
He does this all the time, Gav. He does it when we're talking about players to look out for, especially. And then he comes and he says, "Do you remember when I called that one? I called that one. I called that. I'm telling you now, I called that."
He's amazing at it.
Anyway, next question.
Grizz, what is the next question? I'm sure you have it for somewhere, do you? What do you want me to ask next?
Fuck knows. What was the last question?
Oh, it's okay, Grizz. I've got the agenda here. Don't worry.
Excellent.
I'll
doesn't even know where he is.
Get us through to the next section. Right, lads. This was one that I want to talk about because I'm a little bit different when it comes to this. But if I was to offer each and every one of you good seats in either the Kop or the main stand, what would be your preference and why? Gav, I came to you near the end last time, so I'll open with you on this one.
It's a hard one, isn't it? Especially with the new main stand. But if you're giving me centre of the Kop, I'm taking centre of the Kop without a shadow of a doubt. It's where traditionally all the atmosphere comes from. Although the main stand has upped its game, it's a little bit, I think, since it's been reopened and improved. But no, the middle of the Kop is where it's at, especially, Liverpool shooting towards that goal late in the game under the lights, needing a goal, and they get one. It's no better place to be, is there? So it's definitely the Kop for me. But
you gone full on Grizz here and giving 3 and 4 answers?
No. You've asked me to pick, but I haven't been in the main stand. But anyone I know that's been in it says it's hugely impressive, and the atmosphere is actually really good in it, which is great to see. But no, give me the Kop any day of the week.
Soran, I'll come to you next. What's your choice, Kop or main stand?
It's Kop, absolutely, because you want to experience the atmosphere in the heart of it, and otherwise there's if it's just about watching a game, and that's the most important thing, then there are better ways to do it than live. You can get on the telly, you can get replays and everything, but I think it's in the heart of it is where you want to be. The main stand is very good as well, like you said. There's a good atmosphere, and also you get to watch the Kop, which is also something that I really love to do, but I rather be a part of it. And I think that's probably my best game ever in my life. Any team, any country, anywhere is maybe when we played Sevilla again in the Europa League semi-final return, or it is I think it's when we played City in that title chasing season.
The 3-2 game? Oh, what a game.
Yeah. And that was I was in the standing at the Kop then, and that was I think it's my best experience and best game and best time at a football stadium.
It must have been amazing when the ball dropped to Phil.
Good. It was amazing. You could just see it when it hit the ball. It's gonna go in. It was a perfect. It was unbelievable, and the anxiety afterwards and the release when he fucking blew the whistle. No, it was unbelievable. So I'll go with the Kop, definitely. It's one of the best places to watch football in the world. I would say, and not just by own experience, but just what so many others before us have said, both players and coaches and fans who travel all over the world and watch football. So we should be very, very proud, and I can't imagine I guess I'm jumping the gun here, but I can't imagine any Liverpool fan who would prefer to be anywhere else than at the heart of that atmosphere.
Well, anyone who listens to this podcast regularly will know that we say that the league ended after we beat Man City 3-2, and that's the way we think about it because we won the league that year, and we're not being told otherwise.
Right, I understand.
Was it. That's how it ended. Right. What a way to end it, and we won the league. Brilliant. Did you enjoy it?
Right. I can't do that. We're not Tottenham. That's such a loser thing to do.
I thought you actors were supposed to be able to act, though. That's it. I'm getting onto the agents now. Your career's over.
I understand it. That was I can't fake it. It's impossible. It's fake news. Fake news. You're fake news, you guys.
Oh,
this podcast is fake news. You're lying.
Talking about fake news, what a segment into Grizz. Grizz, what's your take on this main stand or cop? Now, a person in your position in life can sit anywhere they want. You know, corporate boxes, directors' boxes, main stand, cop. You have your choice.
Just show them your cricket score.
Do you know what? It's really close because I absolutely love this new main stand. I've had the pleasure of sitting in it a few times now, like 4 or 5 times, and it's just the view, the comfort. I do really, and it's not a bad atmosphere, you know. It's not as bad as sort of other stands in the ground, but this you can't go against the cop, isn't it? Especially if it's a night game in the Champions League. Look, don't get me wrong. Sometimes on a Saturday, an ordinary league game, you know, it's not the bouncing cop of old. I'm not going to sit here and admit that, every game the cop's bouncing. So that can really put you off because, you know, you expect so much. But do you know what? I'm going to go for the main stand.
There you go.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I really love the atmosphere. I really love the surrounds, the view. It's awesome. It's actually an awesome site, that main stand.
Yeah,
and they have better
beautiful.
nachos.
Yeah, much better nachos.
And the food.
Still can't get a fucking decent sausage roll anywhere in Anfield though.
That fucking pie thing that they have.
The only thing about the main stand, right, is look, it's quite a bit of a trek, right? I'm telling you, you gotta have certain fitness levels to get up to that.
Surely that's
stand.
not an issue for you, Grizz. A high level athlete like yourself.
No. For me, it's not. I'm just telling you, guys, right? The likes of you and Gav, right? I'm telling you, you need to be really, really fit to get to the top of that main stand. So, someone help me out and correct me here if I'm wrong. But
you have to have at least a 70.
There's no elevators.
No, there's not. I've been on the top level of that main stand, and you do feel the burn on the last flight of stairs.
Yep, and this is
you see like loads of our people on the way up the stairs, like just.
And this is coming from me and Ian. This is like Olympians for me and Ian, right? Olympic athletes we're talking. Yeah. So imagine like mere mortals like you and Gav.
Does that show like in the main stand that you just get for every row you get fatter and fatter for every row close to the pitch? You can just see.
Yeah, it's such a trek, man. I'm not joking. But yeah,
Grace, look, you're not getting any fucking sympathy out of us here for having to walk upstairs to sit in the main stand. Jesus Christ. You try and milk sympathy from us every week. You're not getting it this week.
Well, I think elevators should be brought in. Maybe.
No.
Do you know we done a pod a few weeks ago where we said improvements? How's that for an improvement?
No, earn your seat.
Yeah, walk. I agree with Soran. Earn your fucking seat.
Oh, fair enough.
I think it's good.
Ian,
lastly to you, my friend. I think I know where you're going to go with this one, but I'll ask anyway. Main stand or cop?
Yeah, I'm a Scouser, mate. It's got to be the cop. Got to be. Although I have found that as I get a little bit older and a little bit less vociferous, I quite like sitting in the main stand, especially the new main stand. Is brilliant because there's some days when I don't want to scream my head off. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's part of the problem with the diminishing atmosphere in the cop is that there's quite a lot of old people in there now or getting older, and you're not as loud when you're 40 as when you were 17, where most people aren't. You know what I mean? So I think that affects the crowd a bit, or affects the atmosphere. But you can't beat the cop, mate. European night, that when it's under the lights, it is mental, absolutely mental. Although I was at the Dortmund game in the main stand, and the main stand gave just as good as the cop that night in terms of atmosphere, which is mental to say. But it looks like I'm going to be going next year. I was just thinking I'll just go in the main stand, but my other half now is a Larry Bird, and she's going to want to sit in the cop. Do you know what I mean? So
you do what you're told, basically. Yeah,
basically, do whatever you're told. Yeah, but yeah, you can't go wrong with the cop, mate. It is just incredible. I've been to Anfield stupid amount of times, and you can't not get goose pimples when You'll Never Walk Alone starts before the game, and it's definitely better than the Cop
You see,
for that song. Like.
I'm going to disagree a little bit here because of pretty much the point that you raised. I'm 36 this year, and fucking trust me, I'm an old 36, and I can't stand watching football from behind a goal. I never could. I never liked it, and I've been in the Cop dozens and dozens of times, but I've never enjoyed it as much as I have the time I sat at the paddock. So I'm a main stand person. I'd be a halfway line, main stand, watch the game kind of person, halfway up in the Carlsberg Lounge with Grizz having the prawn sandwiches, but that would be me. I just can't stand watching the game from behind a goal, Ian. It just doesn't do it for me.
From a pure vantage point, the new main stand's incredible. I've been in the executive boxes at the top, and the view is incredible. But like I say, there's other aspects to it, isn't there? Like I say, the atmosphere, the sense of humour in the Cop's a lot better. And
there's no fucking leg room in the Cop,
I can't explain it.
I really think it's an age thing. You know that, Ian?
Yeah, well, like I just said, then I think so. Sometimes I'm in the Cop and I look around and there's like 55, 60-year-old men, and they don't move, they don't say a word, and that's their prerogative. But I think sometimes you need to look past yourself and think, right, I should just go in the main stand now and let a young lad have this seat. Yeah, that's what I think, anyway.
There's no leg room in the Cop either. It's fucking horrendous if you're sitting beside anyone that's in any way big.
Well, most of the time you stood up anyway, so it's not really a problem, mate.
Yeah, no, that's a fair shout. That is a fair shout. It's weird though. It's only particular sections of the Cop get away with it for some reason.
Yeah, it's the middle because the stewards can't be asked getting to you. That's right.
So it's just lazy stewarding. Love it.
I remember one time when I was there, somebody's older man told somebody to, it was like, all right, could you sit down now? It was, and it was just like, and he was a scout. It was just fuck off. This is the Cop. If you wanna, and and that's just the way it is. I just because I always find it so amusing when they, the announcements that you have to sit down at your seats and then nobody fucking listens. And it just feels like, that's just how it is, and everybody knows it, and it's fine. It's part of the rules, It feels like you're not allowed to, but who cares? It's like, crossing a pedestrian wall when you're not supposed to, when it's red light or whatever. Who cares?
I think
nothing's going to happen.
This kind of lends itself to the vote that Spirit of Shankly partook in earlier on, but that's a whole another day's debate, and we'll get to that another time. Lads, I'm going to finish up this week with the last question, and what I want you all to do is put your neck on the line and tell me, now Grizz, you'll love this because you love predicting stuff. Tell me who'll be the top scorer this season and have a guess at how many goals. So Grizz, I'm going to come to you first so you cannot steal anybody else's answer.
Yeah, but they're all going to... Watch them all agree with me. All right, so what are we talking? Are we talking
your
just
modesty
league?
does it for me, Grizz. You know that? You're an all...
Is it just league games or...
Well, no, we'll say everything. All competitions.
All competitions.
Top scorer, and give me a rough number.
All competitions, top scorer. I'm going. Who won it this year?
Harry Kane.
No, for us. Oh,
Harry Kane.
I don't know. Mane, Coutinho, one of them, wasn't it?
It was Mane. Gav normally knows. Gav, who was it?
No, it was not Mane. It was Coutinho, Firmino, wasn't it?
Okay, I'm
equal
going
on like 11 or 12. I'm gonna have a look.
We'll stick with Harry Kane for now, anyway.
No, yeah. I'm going Mane again because I really think that there's going to be some games where he's deployed through the centre as well. So I'm going to go Mane, and I'm going to go. How many did he score last year, Ian?
I don't know. Grizz, just answer the question on your own. Fucking hell.
Does anybody know how many scored last season?
This isn't phone a friend, Grizz.
In my opinion, 11.
All right, so I'm going Mane, and I'm going 23.
Jesus, 23.
Oh, it's high, that.
That is high, yeah.
All competitions, you said?
Yeah, no, I did. All competitions. So Mane and 23. Now make sure everybody out there in the Twitterverse takes this down. So it's at Grizz Can, and it's Mane and 23 goals.
23. Yep.
Don't worry, mate. I'll give another answer in a minute when it's my goal.
Go on.
Go on, Ian.
Let's hear you.
We'll move to you anyway now, Ian. Go on, give us your answer.
I think in terms of who'll play the most games and the position he's going to play in, I'm going to have to go for Firmino. just because he's playing centre forward and he'll play more games than Sturridge. I reckon he'll get around 18, 19, which isn't that high, but I think we'll have about 6 players who get around the same. A bit like this season. Coutinho, Lallana, Mane, Salah's going to score loads. I think they'll all be around 16, 17 and it'll all add up. But if I had to pick one, I'd pick Firmino just because of where he plays on the pitch.
So,
I'd give him penalties as well just to boost his numbers because Milner's not going to play as much.
So remind me of the number again.
18.
18. Right, fair enough. Gav, give me a number and a player.
Top scorer, all competitions, and the amount of goals. I'm going to go with Salah and 22.
Oh, just underneath Grizz. Grizz went with 23. 22? That's a fairly high number, but you know what?
Yeah, you see, I'm just looking at him and I'm thinking he's so that run from outside to in is unbelievable that he makes it so well timed, and once he gets away from the defender, you're not catching him. And that finish the other day was just...
It was beautiful, wasn't it? And he made it look so simple.
Yeah, and the thing that's been written about him, especially at his time at Roma, was he gets into strikers' positions and he finishes like a striker over the last year to 18 months. So, yeah, Salah and 20... No, what did Grizz go for? 23?
Yeah, he went for 23.
Fuck Grizz. Salah and 24.
24.
Hey, higher.
Balls out on the table here. So Salah.
Yeah. I've got to be honest, right? When I was listing the players and I said Salah out loud, I nearly changed my answer, but I stuck with Firmino. But Salah will score goals, like.
He was going to be mine as well, but I'll just bypass it now and let Gav have Salah in 24. Was it, Gav?
Yeah. In all competitions, yeah.
Right. Last up and the last topic of the day, I'm going to give Soran. What's your player, top scorer, and numbers, please?
All right. Had Sturridge played, I would have picked him, but I don't think it's going to get the game time. So I will go with Salah, and I will say 30 goals.
Yeah, go for it.
I absolutely, I think it's realistic that we'll have one goal scorer that will score at least 30 in all competitions, because Harry Kane scored 29 in the Premier League last year, so we should be able to. I think we'll have a great season ahead of us, and
we're winning the
especially
league,
offensively. Well, we're right now we are
first time since 13-14 we're going to win the league.
Exactly. Until we haven't, then we're winning. And no, I think we're especially offensively. It looks great, and one more year with Klopp with his. Offensive players that he's had under him and that's developed under him, and then great addition with Salah. And I think I also don't want to underestimate having Ings back. He's going to have a great, at least the energy and the way everybody speaks of him and in and around the dressing room and the team. I think that's also going to be at least a morale boost, if nothing else. So I think that we're going to score a lot of goals, and Salah with 30. But whoever, at least we'll have somebody who scores 30 goals.
I absolutely love that we're ending on such positivity. Salah and 30 goals, and I'm having that every day of the week, lads.
And in Grizz's cricket conundrum, that means you get 104 goals.
That's great.
When you put Grizz's algorithm.
I do think we're going to get over 100 goals this season.
Oh no, I mean just that player. I just mean that
Salah.
player.
Oh, okay.
Salah, 104 goals after Grizz's Duckworth.
Salah's going to score 34 goals, and then as he's walking off the pitch, the whole team are going to make him drink a bottle of piss.
Yeah.
But also, I would like to hear Grizz elaborate a little bit on how the top goal scorer will score 22 goals in all competitions, or 23. And the team will score over 100 goals in the Premier League.
Yeah.
How Mignolet is going to score like 10? Moreno's going to jump.
The other 8 are getting 14 each.
Listen, it's been proven that Klopp likes all his players sort of to participate in the goal scoring.
I'm sure every fucking manager loves all his players to participate.
I like
threesomes with 18-year-olds.
Listen, we have a guest, and the guest asked me to elaborate. So let me elaborate.
I shouldn't have.
I was going to say, showing his inexperience.
Okay, so he asked me to elaborate. Can the rest of you shut the fuck up? So basically,
Roll
if
credits.
I'm saying, if I'm saying Salah's going to score, not Salah, Mane. So you've already infiltrated my brain, Soran. So Salah's going to Mane's going to score 23 goals. Okay.
Yeah.
You got to remember, even the last season, all our attackers scored roughly around. It was a close call between the 3-4 players. So I think it's going to be very similar. It's going to be very similar this season. I expect Coutinho to bag at least 10-15. I expect Lallana and Ginny to chip in with 10-15. Are you doing the maths, guys? I'm sure someone is.
Ginny will never score more than 5.
Okay, no problem. We'll remember this. But my point being, look,
you won't.
How many? My point being is, my point being is, I do think that Klopp loves his players to just share out the goals, and I think we will. I think we're expecting. Okay, maybe not 100, but around.
No,
100.
fuck off.
Here we go.
No. This is not. You're not,
70.
you're not
Look,
pulling your
70 is today's
ITK
magic
backpedaling nonsense on here. You said 100 goals.
Today's magic number 70, so we're looking at around 90.
Wait, have you ever seen?
Goals.
Have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons?
And over 100. Like, literally, you're just going to keep calling out numbers until you get the whole.
You're just going to carry on going.
This is how the ITK thing works.
Have you ever seen that episode of The Simpsons where they're playing poker and they're giving Homer loads of shit and he tries to think of a response and he's like, think of something dead quick, and then he comes back and everyone's already left the building. Yeah. That's basically Grizz every day.
Listen, how many did we score last season, Gav?
I don't know.
Just make up a number, Gav. Just make up a number.
You've literally counted from
we've discussed this in a previous pod. We scored
about 76 goals, I think, last season in the league.
Yeah, so we're scoring about 15 more. So that's about 90. There you go.
That's 91.
All right, 91.
Not out now. 91 not out. That'll be
91 not out. So we're looking. I'm looking Mane, Firmino, Salah to score about 20.
Oh God, we're going again. No, Chris, listen. Let me break this down.
20 goals each.
Well, what you basically said is we're looking at something between 50 and 140 goals. Is that what you're saying?
Roughly speaking.
Roughly. Okay, so you're going to go, 10 either side of them totals as well?
Yeah.
And this will be evenly split gap between the 23-man squad.
Listen, guys. You're talking all games, right? We're talking 20 each, right? That's basic figure, all right? For Mane, Salah, and Firmino. We're talking 20 goals each. Do we all agree on that?
But you said 2 minutes ago.
I never forget what I said 2 minutes ago, Ian. Fuck's sake,
2 minutes ago, you said Firmino was going to get 10.
Forget
2 minutes
that.
ago.
No, I didn't say Firmino was going to get 10. I said
10 or 15.
No, Ginny and Lallana, I said.
This
from
is
midfield.
And you know what the worst thing is? Everyone will hear it.
Okay, listen, guys. Do we all agree?
Everything. Forget what I said 2 minutes ago. I love
Craig,
that.
can you take control, Craig?
Oh, no, I'm letting this go. I'm loving this.
All right,
no, hold on, Grizz.
Mane, Firmino, Salah, 20 goals each. That's 60 goals. Okay, Mane, Firmino, Salah.
Grizz, you're going to win us a Perrier award or something. This is going to be
okay, I'm going 20 goals each. Mane, Firmino,
Salah. You should take this logic to the bookies. I know I said, fuck what I said 2 minutes ago. I'm saying now, Harry Kane Harry Kane's going to be the top scorer. Fuck what I said 2 months ago.
I'll tell you they're in trouble.
Fuck what I said. Yeah. Fuck what I said 8 months ago. I want to put on a new bet. I want to change it.
No, but Gav,
I think Leicester's going to win the league. Fuck what I said a year ago.
Gav, come here. Listen to me. 60 goals.
Oh, I'm here. Unfortunately.
That's three. Our main three forwards. Strikers, 60. Wingers, call you what you want. That's 60 goals, okay? There between them.
Positions there.
Yeah.
Then we got Sturridge coming off the bench. We're looking at 10 goals from Sturridge, okay, for the season, right? That's not unrealistic, right? That's
I don't need to break out Pythagoras' theorem or something to work this.
That's 70 goals there, according to my maths. That's 70 goals there. Then you're looking at Gini and Lallana contributions.
I'm not actually sure what's happening here.
We're trying to get to a figure of 100, Ian.
I'm completely lost about what's happening here.
It's after 99, just 99 and 100.
Listen, Soran asked me to elaborate. Anyway,
no, I take it back.
Soran's not coming on this show ever again unless he learns from his mistakes.
I agree. I understand.
Okay, I'll go on mute. Carry on.
Well, what I think is, if you look at it, right, you have Mane, you have Firmino, and you have Salah. So what are you looking at? You're looking at 20. End the pod. Go to fucking bed.
And Keita, right? Keita's going to come in. Van
No,
Dijk is going to score some
no,
goals.
no. Let's not go Keita tonight. Tonight's not the night to go Keita.
don't
We're going to
think
lose Coutinho.
Yeah,
Please, for the love of God, can you just press stop?
Lads, I'm gonna have to finally jump in here and put this to an end. Lads, thanks so much for joining me. It's an absolute joy to have Soran on. Soran, thank you for joining us. You're welcome back anytime. Again, I told you I had to apologise for Ian and Grizz in advance. They didn't let me down.
It's been a blast. Thank you guys for having me, and it's been a lot of fun.
If there's one thing, Soran, that you take from this is when you're asked when you think of something, never ask someone to elaborate. Never.
Right? Is it someone or just Grizz?
It is just
You
Grizz.
know,
Right.
well, I was trying to find. You know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, absolutely. My mistake. I'll learn from it. Move on.
Yeah.
Folks, we have lots and lots of content coming up this week, particularly around the game, the Dublin game. As Gav said in a video that we put out, myself and Jonathan somehow managed to blag press passes to the game, so we're going to see how many people we can possibly annoy and try and get sound bites from and bits of interviews. Like, we could end up with restraining orders, but we'll do our best for you. Gav will be back on Thursday with ARW Weekly. Jonathan will be here tomorrow for an off the cuff after the game. We'll try and do a live pod after the game in Dublin on Saturday, but either way there'll be a pod out straight after the game. Thanks as always to Grizz, Ian and Gav for joining me. Again, thanks to Soran. We'll talk to you guys soon. Take care.